an advanced Toastmasters ATM, also the bank machine ATM, advanced Toastmaster. He has given several speeches for this role and in our clubs in real life, and he's required to give a ATM Spanish speak without preparation at least once a year. So for today, he will give an impromptu speech. And Greg gave me the tip that I can pick any topics I want and to give it's more like the type of topics for 5 to 7 minutes. And now I was a little bit enamored because my mind was a little bit blank for which topic to pick. Let me think about that. Do you have any tips?
Just think of anything that I could realistically answer for 5 to 7 minutes that I could speak on for that amount of time.
National Women's Day.
Pre-science.
Pre-science.
Free science.
It's 5 days.
I have an interesting topics because have you ever heard like IBM, like supercomputers? And it can do like almost anything in the future. And I don't know, like any of you are lawyers right now or have friends are lawyers. And one of the challenges for lawyers in the future is that for those supercomputers, if you input those law codes into that, the computer can do 90% of the regular cases. So that will put a huge challenge for those people who want to pursue law in their careers. So Craig, can you give some thoughts for the pros and cons in applying the supercomputers to determine the cases for every day? And whether lawyers will lose their jobs in the future, and how could we human beings prepare to compete for the supercomputers, like for this function, like the autopilot version, and now turn the speech for you, okay?
Thank you. Thank you, Tao, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. It is my privilege to answer this question as to how lawyers will adjust to the fact that they can plug information into a computer and automatically generate a case. Well, interestingly enough, I have some prescience on this topic because in 1996, HCC, Hillsborough Community College president, Dr. Gwen Stevenson, may God rest her soul, gave me a book called The World is Flat by Thomas Friedman. And this book was about globalism, something that our current president opposes. However, there was one bit in that book about how lawyers in America automatically email their cases to India, where these cases get outsourced and they give them that information. Those Indian lawyers give them the facts, and the American lawyers get the credit, but the Indian lawyers get a little bit of money. The American lawyers get even more money. So how would this affect the future? We would still have our lawyers, they'd still be well paid, they would get the credit for the cases, they would be the ones dressed up in court, arguing their case, saving defendants, exonerating other defendants, or arguing boring legal cases. Either way, they would get their information from the computer, synthesize, analyze it, put their own spin on it, tell a few folksy stories, and present their cases, and still be respected as well as any lawyer can be respected, which isn't very much, because there is a difference between a dead snake in the middle of the road and a dead lawyer in the middle of the road. There's skid marks in front of the snake. But they will apply computers to improve their skills like every other profession does. Being a history professor, I do quite a bit of that as well. I will oftentimes Google information because I don't know all the facts off the top of my head. Usually I do, but sometimes I don't. And one of the guilty secrets that I have as a professor is Wikipedia. But does that make me a bad professor? I don't think so, because I can learn those facts, and then I will analyze them. I will show how they're relevant. I will teach students what those facts are, how they fit into the grand scheme of history, why it matters to them, why it applies to the present and future events. I'm able to do that. Other professions can as well. I don't know, because I don't know about any other professions, because I could not do anything else, except I'd really like to be involved in professional wrestling in some way, shape, or form, and I might even give a speech about that next week. But I do know how to do that with history, and I'm sure that lawyers would be able to go online, figure out that information, get the facts, interpret them, those facts as they see fit, and then present them in a case, so you will have a future lawyer using a computer and wowing a judge, jury, executioner, audience, etc., etc. Consider this to be Perry Mason meets George Jetson. However, not everyone who is a lawyer remains a lawyer. Some move up the legal profession to become judges. They will do this so well, they will be a judge, and they have a computer at their bench. I know that because I've been a jury on 2 cases, and I was dismissed from a 3rd case. It really hurt my feelings. And I know they have a computer. I'm sure they Google things like that. Maybe other things, I don't want to speculate, but they are checked. I'm sure it's all kosher. But they will do the same thing using the supercomputer to understand verdicts, precedent, and every other judge thing that ever judges do when they do judge stuff. They will use that as well, but also some attorneys become politicians. They will use that knowledge to go online and figure out the right political decisions. Presidents do that now because we have these things called computers. However, they are smart enough, or some are smart enough, not to use unsecured email servers while doing that, either as president or before, because I would argue that was a strong reason as to why Hillary Clinton is not President Clinton today. However, I'm not being partisan. Mike Pence did it too. He got caught, and the great joke about that is they hacked into his AOL. Who uses AOL? At least they didn't get his MySpace page. So, to conclude and answer your question, Tao, lawyers can use supercomputers, but they will apply that knowledge and their charm to become even more effective. So, once again, consider what George Jetson and Perry Mason would do as they will take the legal profession into the space age.